All right, Devin, thanks for joining us. Evan, go ahead with your question.
Devin, congrats on the win. One thing I was curious about is this game you looked a lot more comfortable throwing those deep, explosive plays down the field. You were able to connect better with your receivers. What do you attribute that to? Is it the offensive line, what you did in practice specifically?
Yeah, I mean, first, I think, it all starts with execution. The week prior, we didn't really execute well on certain plays that we were trying to take shots on, where we kind of made that a focus this week in practice. And, it all starts up front. So credit the offensive line, giving me time. And, me just giving my receivers a chance, letting them do their thing. And, as soon as we get that rhythm down, that connection, it all starts in practice. It should translate onto the game.
Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, Devin, I don't know if you're aware of this yet. They may have told you tied the school record for TD responsibility in one game with 6. And the other 2 were Phillip Rivers and Mike Glennon. Just your thoughts. I know you're not into records that much, but just your thoughts on tying that record.
Yeah, I think, I kind of found out after the game. I wasn't really aware, but I think it's an awesome honor. I mean, just being, categories with Mike Glennon and Russell Wilson, like that's an honor itself. But being able to play here at NC State, being able to represent this university and, playing to my best ability, I mean, that's all that, I could really do.
Gibby, go ahead.
Yeah, Devin, you were aggressive running the ball today. Is that something that you maybe want to do more of, or is that something that you need to kind of be careful of too? What's your thoughts on being aggressive running the football like you were today?
Yeah, I mean, whatever Coach Beck calls, whatever the play call is, whether that's a run for me, run for, our running backs, receiver, if it's passing the ball, anything he wants me to do, anything he needs me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to my best ability, whether that is running the football. If I got to get a little gritty, I mean, I'm willing to do it. Whatever he needs out of me, whatever he needs for me to do for this team, I'm going to do it 100%.
What was going through your mind on that first touchdown run? You were shaking some tackles and put your head down. What was going through your mind on that run?
Yeah, got the call in from the sideline, made sure, I made all my right decisions, whether to, run the ball or pass the ball. Credit to my offensive line once again. They did a great job of opening up a huge window for me to kind of run through. And, I just saw that red end zone and, nothing was stopping me getting into it.
Go ahead, Pat.
Hey, Devin, what did you think of Tim Beck calling plays from up in the box today?
Yeah, I think Coach Beck does a great job, each and every week. This was kind of just something that we just discussed. And, I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was different for sure. But, I mean, just being able to see, from his perspective up in the box, for him being able to see from up there. And, I mean, it wasn't honestly much different, so to say. I mean, every single series I was getting on the phone with them. We were still talking through everything like we always do. But just a little change up, but I think it works either way.
Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, sorry about that. Hey, Larry, I know there's a whole lot of spreading the ball around in the offense today. I believe it was 14 total pass catchers. How much was an emphasis? Was that an emphasis for this game in terms of spreading the ball around?
Yeah, I think it was huge. I mean, that really started, in the offseason. We understand how many people can make plays for us. We understand how many receivers that we have, even running backs too. We have so many different playmakers, and, me as the quarterback, it's my job to distribute the ball to them. It's Coach Beck's job, to call the plays, and however he calls the play, it's my job to operate it the right way, regardless of who's out there. But I think that just goes to show how much trust we have in everyone. And whoever's numbers get called to make a play, we expect them to make that play.
Go ahead, Alec.
Yeah, Devin, I was just going to ask, is this as good of a birthday as you've ever had?
I must say it probably is the best. I think what topped it off, though, was our band actually played Happy Birthday to me after the game. I never really experienced anything like that. So shout out to them for sure. That really made my day.
All right, Devin, it looks like that's it.
Thank you.
Hey, Anthony, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I think one of the questions still sort of remaining for this offense is what kind of deep threats you guys have at wideout.
you make a 40-yard play like that, do you feel like you're one of the answers to that question?
Absolutely. I definitely feel like I'm a big key to the deep threat on the team. We have a lot of guys in the receiver room, in the running back room. It's not just me. It's not just Julian Gray. It's a whole lot of guys who can take things up top.
Go ahead, Gibby.
Yeah, Anthony, can you kind of compare and contrast how you feel right now after this game as compared to last week? I know you guys took some unwanted heat, but just how you feeling right now after this victory, a resounding victory, as opposed to where you guys were last week?
It's definitely a big difference in the feeling that we have after this game. I mean, the point difference was like huge. So, but just knowing that we can go out there and beat any team that we want to, regardless if it's by 1 point or by 50 points, like it doesn't really matter. We're gonna go out there and do it.
Was it did you guys get some unfair criticism last week, do you feel?
Not really. We try not to look at the like social media and the politics and whoever is talking about us. We kind of just stay focused on our team and what we can do better to be the best us next week.
Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, this was the first game that Coach Beck's been upstairs calling the game instead of down on the sideline with you guys, giving you guys constant feedback. Was that a difference in this game? Did it take some adjustment that you used to?
I wouldn't say it would take any adjustment at all. I mean, we have the right guys to execute the play on the field, regardless if Coach Beck is upstairs or he's on the field with us. The guys who he puts on the field, he trusts to execute the play that he calls, regardless of whatever play he calls or what personnel or who's out there on the field.
All right, Anthony, that looks like it's it. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Your first question is going to come from Alex Sawyer.
Hey, Tyler, when you get your number called on a blitz like that and you have a lane at the quarterback, is that something that as a secondary player is just really exciting for you, something that's really fun part of the game, able to force that fumble?
Yeah, that was really one of the main things I really wanted to work on this offseason was my blitz tracks and my blitz speed and the violence that I blitzed in. So when he made that call, I just knew what time it was.
Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, Tyler, much was made this week about the emphasis being on better tackling after the East Carolina game. How would you assess the play of the defense today in terms of your tackling?
I would say it was better than last week. We emphasized it in practice, and what we emphasize in practice, we try and carry over to the game, and that's what we try to do this week, and we'll continue to get better at that as well.
Go ahead, Gibby.
Yeah, Chip kind of stole my question there, but just could you elaborate on the defense a little bit today? I mean, did you guys come in with a little more hungry because of maybe what happened last week, and if so, looked like it worked for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like we didn't play up to our standard that we know we uphold in our defensive room, so we knew we had to come out this week with a new hunger, new motivation, and just go out there and just play the way that we know how to play, which is fast and physical.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, a lot of guys got into this game in the second half, and, Jalen Frazier had an interception. Just how cool is it to see some of those guys getting into game action and making big plays?
I mean, that's the goal. That's what we say in our nickel room. It's a factory. We just keep on pumping them out. I go out, the next one come in, he can get a pick too. It's just a factory with us. Me, JPL, Jalen Frazier, all the guys. We just go in there, we just make plays. Isaiah Crowell, we're all just built for it.
Go ahead, David.
You forced the fumble and then immediately after had an interception. Is that how it feels a lot on defense when sort of those momentum plays start to happen and you can kind of build on those and have those big moments back to back like that?
I mean, we don't try to really keep up with the play that you make. I just kind of just go to that next play mentality. You make one, teammates celebrate it, and then it's just the next play. Clear mind, the play cycle was what Coach Dorn talks about, that play cycle. I try and emphasize that this season more, just getting rid of that next play, restarting that new play with a fresh mind and just making a new play.
Chip, go ahead.
Tyler, how much do you get out of a game like this? Obviously, Charleston Southern was outmanned in this game. You guys were a lot better team. Just how much can you get out of a game like this? I know you wanted to straighten out some things from the East Carolina game, but what kind of positives do you think came out of this?
Just like you said, the way we tackled some of our technical things, our technical like our man coverage, some of our zone schemes, our disguises, stuff like that we just knew we had to improve on from first game. And when it comes to the second game, and kind of put that on film that we can make improvements and we can take stuff off tape as well.
All right, Tyler, that's all the questions we have for you. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you.